She brought such an energy to printmaking. You know, the way she portrayed the city, it wasn't just looking at buildings, it was, you could feel the energy and movement of the rhythm of the city. Today, I'm really excited to unpack this box of treasures to share with you. So Dorrit Black was born in Adelaide in 1891, but I'm going to jump forward to 1927. She was aged 35, and by this point, she'd already been studying and practicing art for quite some time. But she decided she really wanted to find a way of modernising her practice. So she travelled to London, and at the Grosvenor School of Modern Art, I think she really found what she was looking for. She was actually the first Australian student to study this relatively new and modern printmaking technique of colour linocut printmaking under the very inspirational teacher Claude Flight. Now, this is one of the first works she made there in 1927. It's called the Acrobats, and I just love the energy of this print. I love the vivid areas of flat colour she has used and the really decisive areas of carving that she's used to create these quite angular figures here. I also really love the movement of this print, how these aerial performers are literally throwing one another around in this kind of lovely circular movement. You can imagine the roar of the audience in the background, and it's just indicated through these very simple shapes, flat colours and bold outlines. So at the gallery, we're also incredibly lucky to hold the original printing blocks that she used to make this print. So here we've got our lino printing blocks, and Black just carved away into them, and then you would use a roller to apply ink to them and then place a sheet of paper on top of them, applying even pressure to transfer the ink to the page. So looking at all of the different blocks here and how many colours she printed, it's really quite amazing to think about all of the work that went into such a small print. So Dorrit Black returned to Australia in 1929, and in 1931 she set up the Modern Art Centre in Sydney, which was such an amazing place. This was the first art centre dedicated to modern art in Australia, both for teaching and exhibiting. Here she taught classes in lino cutting, design, drawing and art appreciation. And this wonderful, quite bold and graphic black and white lino cut is actually the nighttime view she had from her art centre. The gallery is actually really lucky that we've got the original sketch she did for this work in the collection here, as well as the lino block she used to print it. So I think it's so wonderful to get a bit better insight into her working process by looking at these different objects together. So through her Modern Art Centre, she really helped to popularise the medium of colour lino cutting in Australia. It was a medium that was immediately embraced, particularly by women artists. They're such an accessible medium. You could sit down and make them at your kitchen table. The lino cut doesn't need any expensive materials or a cumbersome printing press. You could actually improvise a lot of the materials you need to carve into the lino, such as the sharp rib from inside an umbrella. She would often use that as a carving tool, and perhaps it's something that she used to get these really nice, lovely fine details through here. And to print them, you just need to apply even pressure. You don't need a press. You could use the back of the spoon, as Dorrit did, to help with transferring the ink to the paper. And if we think back to her British teacher, Claude Flight, he long maintained that the lino cut was such an accessible and democratic medium. He said it was an art for the people and for their homes. So her significance now, looking back, there's been several exhibitions that have recognised her talent, especially as a printmaker. I think she brought such an energy to printmaking. You know, the way she portrayed the city, it wasn't just looking at buildings. You could feel the energy and movement, the rhythm of the city, and I think that is conveyed so strongly, and that's something that was very new in the time in Australia.